Hi folks, attorney Kyle Singhal. I have helped hundreds of lawyers to pass the bar exam after they previously failed. More than 90% of my repeaters, including 5th, 6th, and even some 7th timers, have passed the bar exam by dedicating themselves, following my guidance, and working harder than ever before. They passed. So how does it work? What do? I made this video to answer those questions. So let's talk about the uniform bar exam. I also tutor California and certain other states, but I primarily tutor the UBE. So that means the multi-state bar exam, that is the multiple choice, plus the 6 essays and 2 performance tests. So on the MBE, the multiple choice, I work in 2 phases. In phase 1, I start with 1 or 2 subjects at a time, typically assigning 50 to 100 questions per session to start. So in phase 1, you answer the questions completely untimed. I then tell you which questions you missed without telling you the right answer. You then go back and explain your reasoning. What did you think the question was asking for? What did you want the answer to say? If you still like your answer, tell me why. If you think you know why your answer was wrong, tell me what specifically makes it wrong. And then choose a new answer and explain why you think that new answer is correct. Your written work product, again, just on the questions you miss, will help me see what's going on in your head and will help me identify what your problems are in your approach and how you can solve them. That way we avoid wasting time with me asking, why did you pick B? I don't know, and so on. We can breeze through the ones that you understood and cut straight to the ones that you didn't. Specifically, I can help you identify where you're going wrong. For instance, let's say you didn't spot an issue. As we reread the question, I'll nudge you along to see if you can identify which fact in the fact pattern should have made you realize that a certain legal rule is being tested. Or, let's say you spotted the issue but you didn't know the rule. In that case, we'll work on strategies for memorizing and retaining rules early. A big flaw in many folks' bar prep is that they don't begin to memorize until the last few weeks. That's absurd and I don't tolerate it. We will work on memorization from day 1. Finally, let's say you misread something in the question or in the answers. I'll help you work on better reading, slower reading, processing, and paraphrasing more. The quantity of reading on the bar exam might be overwhelming, but I can help you make it manageable. So after we get through the first few subjects, we'll start doing timed, closed book, mixed sets of just those subjects. Once we get through all the subjects in phase 1 on the MBEs, then we really enter phase 2, which is timed, closed book sets just like on exam day, sets of 50 or 100 MBEs at a time. Entirely timed strictly and closed book. The goal is by the time we get there, you're already operating at a passing level because phase 1 builds mastery. But if you're not, that's okay. We identify the low-hanging fruit, the easy and medium questions that you're missing so that we can improve on those rather than worrying about the hardest questions. Because the goal is to pass, and that's what we do. So on the essays, as we do phase 1 of the MBEs, I'll give you a few essays per subject. Then, when we meet, we walk through them together and I can show you how you can earn more points. Maybe that's by spotting more issues, maybe it's articulating your rules more reasonably, maybe you needed to use more of the facts from the fact pattern or draw a clearer conclusion. Above all, I focus on being reasonable. Now, once we get to phase 2 with the MBEs, then we turn to the other essay topics like corporations, secure transactions, family, wills, and trusts. My goal is for you to answer 100 to 150 essays at a passing level during bar prep, and that's going to include several 3-hour sets of 6 essays. I insist on doing full-time sets of 6 essays, even if you don't feel ready yet. Why? That way you've had practice crafting a rule that fits the facts and applying it. You're not making it up entirely, you're making it up based on what you know about the law. Odds are, on your exam, you'll have at least one question that you don't know the answer to. But if you've had experience crafting a rule that makes sense and applying it reasonably, you'll have the confidence to know that you can pass the exam, even if you don't know all the answers. So then the multi-state performance test. As you probably know, there are 2 MPTs, 90 minutes each, within a 3-hour block. But you have to manage your own time and make sure that you don't spend too long on the first one and leave yourself too little time on the second one. So I give the MPTs the attention they deserve, but I focus on ensuring that you have ample time to practice 3-hour blocks where you have to do both MPTs together in a single session. So if you think I might be a good fit to tutor you for the bar exam, shoot me a note, uniformbarexampro@gmail.com. Send me your scores from the exams you've taken. Tell me a little more about your bar exam journey so far, what's worked for you, what hasn't. Share as much as you're comfortable sharing, including your score reports if you can. I'll take a look, come up with some thoughts, and we'll talk about it before we start tutoring.